it is time for news. So, welcome everyone. Good to have you back. It is 6:30 p.m. Central European Time. Paul is speaking, as it says here on the website. So let's see if we get any volatility. Of course, earlier today we were live as a price was moving here just sideways, really bit towards the upside. And I said, yo, tonight we have news, so I will be live. So here we are. And yeah, price moved towards the downside here, creating some more bullish CVD divergences locally. We also had them here, we had them here, and now we also had them here. The latest bullish CVDs here didn't yet play out. That would be the high to take. We did touch the 886 once again. So the 886 taken from this high to the low, as you can see. And once you touch the 886, the probabilities are high to take this high sooner or later. Any move down has a higher probability of being a wave C or Y, increasing the probabilities to sooner or later take out this top. We hit the 886 and, as happens relatively often, move back towards the golden pocket, right? Always an area of interest after an 886 touch, as it pretty much acts as a support resistance area on the chart. Now you can see we have a little bit, only on the 5-minute, a bit of a bearish CVD, but we have the bullish CVD here, and those were first. So let's see what price is gonna do now, as we have a little bit of news. So by all means, the probabilities are higher locally to take out this high. Yeah, we hit the 886. So we'll see how price eventually likes to do that. Of course, there's no guarantee that it goes up immediately. As mentioned, any move down has a higher probability of being C or Y, right? So a corrective structure, not an impulsive structure. So yeah, let's wait and see. Sometimes with those speeches, the volatility takes a while. So we are going to observe what happens. Cool. Power Meet, welcome. Good to have you here. Jeroen, admin, ready for the news. Hike, liquidation and heat map, 5-minute chart. Thanks for sharing, admin. Adam, get a notification in Discord. YouTube unreliable. Yeah. Discord, you always get a notification when I post. YouTube, very much depends on how many updates and content, how much content I make in a 24-hour period. It's not that reliable. It's literally to the minute. So if I would upload 4 pieces of content in 24 hours, the 4th one won't get you a notification. Driftholics, let's wait and see. Adam, how you doing? Of course, I already said that up there. Unsubscribe, subscribe again. Now it works. Hidden bearish divergences. The voice of pi, how you doing? I was second. Yo, T. Clepson, welcome. Oh, no idea. The word second is surely not in the ban list, I'm sure. Welcome, Clepson. Admin had to reload the page. Wow, so many are coming in. Sue, welcome. LJ, good to have you here. It's been a while. Welcome back. Yanis, are you sidelined? No. Binance didn't hit the 886. Ah, yeah. I only look at Coinbase. Anyway. Samith, Bettina, Pistachio. Look at that beautiful blue badge. I can't get used to it. Pistachio is so far the only one, I think, with the blue badge. I would need to check in YouTube Studio. But the only one I've seen, actually. Florian, welcome. Efren, how you doing? Paul. Yeah, you won't see him again, I think. Emerald, welcome. What indicator do you use to highlight the CVD divergence? This is all AGGR. It's coded. So I'm currently testing it and checking it. What do you think about the CME gap? Probably interesting for a wave 2. I will answer the question about the CME gap in a little bit, because I first want to see what price does locally. But I had the question of the CME gap a few times, and I'm happy to look into it again. So if we, without all the drawings on the chart, which I'll do in a second, the CME gap is of course interesting, but it doesn't mean we got to go there in the short term, right? So even if price moves to the upside impulsively, what I would like to see from a psychology point of view in combination with the CME gap is to create a lower high below 72K. If we impulse up, right, and we observe the range here, but probabilities are at least higher to take this high. But if we impulse up and we count an impulse 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, create a lower high below 72K somewhere, and then retrace down again for a wave 2 to the CME gap. So in that case, it will probably take days, but we keep in mind the gap. So I'll put the drawings on the chart in a second. I just want to see what happens locally before I then zoom out and I miss what's happening locally now that the news is here. So hit the 886 for the second time. We didn't yet take the high. Let's undo that. Up. Rudy, welcome. Charbel, welcome as well. Fozzy, what's up? What's up? Nuno, bro. One second, just managing, you know how it goes. Okay. Second stream, yeah, because of the news. So we have some news today here, right? Fed Chair Powell speech, 6:30 p.m. And I always like to be live when there is news. So that is why I'm live. I was live earlier today, of course. You know, everyone knows in the afternoon I like to be live, but yeah, as the banner on the channel says, you know, in the evening I go video/live, most of the time video, but I go live if either special things have happened on the chart or there is some news going on as well. Wow, did you see that big move down there for a second? There's definitely some volatility on the very, very low time frame, like the 1 min. Yeah, very, very nice. So Andrea, welcome. Good to have you here. Question: if we see 5 waves from here, could that be an ending a diagonal, even if the third wave? So an ending diagonal T-collapse always has to consist of 3 wave structures. So you need a diagonal that is an internal subwave 1 2 3 4 5, and wave 1 2 3 4 and 5 have to be a 3 wave structure. So if you count an impulse to the upside, right, you can't have an ending diagonal. You can't have a 5. So you would need a 5 and then another 3 and another 5. Right? You want a zigzag family structure. Would be nice if you can describe that a bit more for those who don't know what it is. Yeah, I can definitely have a look at the CME chart. I haven't done that in many months. Because I don't actually use CVD in my trading. Yeah, it's interesting. It's for the so again we just keep an eye on the chart for now. We wick this high. Just in a nutshell, this CME is, and the simple version is a chart, right? And you'll be able to find it if you look for BTC1. And it is a chart where the weekends are cut out. So weekend price action is not on the chart. So you have Monday to Friday, but then the weekend price action is invisible. And that means that if price closes somewhere on Friday and opens somewhere else on Monday, you have a gap, right? And that gap in price action tends to be filled or touched in most of the cases. That is all probabilities and stuff, and I have never really tracked probabilities of CME gaps, so it's not really on me to talk about how high the probabilities are, but I think on the higher time frames, the probabilities generally are quite high to at least test a gap, no? But I do not have information on, it should, in 60% of the cases, it will touch the gap in 1 day, in 80% of the cases in 3 days, 90%, I don't have that information. I never tracked it because I never used CME in my analysis. So that would be, if someone has data on CME gaps, would be amazing if someone wants to share it. Of course, it's hard work, so understandably, if people don't want to share it. Mark, how you doing? Welcome back, man. Mark's been an active boy today, no? An active guy. Thanks, Mark, for earlier today, and welcome back. When the price is pumping, I turn on Pump It Up. Don't you know? Pump it up. Christian, welcome. Cheese, how you doing? Good to have you here. Samson United, are you more convinced we are going to 70k before 50-58 region, or still 50-50? At the moment, the probabilities are higher to move towards the upside. And moving above 63.8k also increases probabilities to move to 65. And we are then getting into impulse scenarios, right? So take it level by level to the upside with the resistances we have. But at the moment, the probabilities remain higher for, well, this. 70k. Yeah. I mean, 50-58, that is a very big range. 50-58. The thing is, and now I will talk about the CME gap here, because what you're also saying at the same time is 58 is, okay, that's the CME gap. Right, that's quite low. So as we've seen price for a second locally, I want to zoom out. So with regards to the CME gap, which is here, right? So if price continues to the upside impulsive, we're going to be looking for like 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we have our wave 3, right? And then eventually what we like to see is a 4, 5, 4, 5. Now, preferably from a psychology point of view, I would not like to see this taken. Preferably, I want to see a lower high on the chart, right? And if we then take a fib from the low to wherever the high is going to be, and we look for an impulse, meaning we look then for a wave 2 to the downside eventually, you can see that the common target area for a wave 2 is the 05786. Now keep an eye on the CME gap, because your common target area for a wave 2 is always going to have confluence with that gap, as long as you don't take 72k, and even if you do, you still have the 786 and golden pocket there. So I think from a psychology point of view, if we get that impulse to the upside and we actually continue, what I would like to see is eventually a slow grind at the end of this week, finish the weekend somewhere here in the wave 4, wave 5 price action, create a lower high, see a sharp zigzag to the downside next week. What's happening next week? We can definitely have some interesting price action next week. So, and then see a sharp zigzag to the downside, impulsive, a 535 ABC, preferably short, snappy, high volume, scary, move into the support area, which can include the CME gap. And then here at during the weekend, or maybe even before, but I would guess maybe weekend price action. And then in 2 weeks, you then continue up and you take the high. So in the bullish scenario, so this is of course all bullish scenario, not the bearish scenario, right? But in the bullish scenario where we're counting an impulse to the upside, this is what I would like to see. Now, the chart is not listening to Koen from the Netherlands, but it makes sense. So yeah. So that is the CME gap answer as well. right? I mean, it makes sense, right? If you then push to the upside, create a lower high, people waiting for the breakout, you don't get the breakout, you go down once again, right? 73.8K all-time high, we moved down to 56, came back to 72, moved down to 53, come back to 68 to 70K, and then go back again to like 61, 60, you know, maybe 59, and then you go up again, you know what I mean? Yeah, it would be interesting, no? I like it from a psychology point of view. Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah. And it also, from an Elliott wave point of view, makes sense. If you count an impulse to the upside, it would be quite a nice scenario. No? Yeah, BTC1 for the CME chart, correct. Video Kingdom, welcome. The second show indeed. Second time live. T. Clepson, only 11 likes, and I'm guessing everyone's loving this. If you want YouTube to recommend the things you enjoy, the best way to do that is to like things you enjoy. Thank you, T. Clepson, and thanks everyone as well for your support, of course. So we're at 27 after this message now. Thanks, T. Clepson. Yeah, we have a small move to the upside. So mind, it is news, right? Trade safe, volatility. How is the move to Monaco going? So we start in Nice, the area of Nice. We found a great apartment there. And oh yeah, you can't really see it, but yeah, you do see a box there. Right, so you do see a box there, and some other stuff in a corner. So we are today we've been very busy, like packing stuff in boxes and knowing what do we want to have, what do we not want to have, and give away, and all that stuff. So we're making progress, and we have enough time. We only leave on the 30th of July. That is when we do a road trip of 3 days. So that will be 3 days of no content. Sorry about that. But then we arrive in Nice, and then yeah, we have to set everything up there. So at the beginning, I might not be able to live stream in the first few days because I have my phone internet connection, but I can't stream on it. So I might have to make videos only, but that's okay for the time being. Then I sort out the internet. I'll probably sort the internet out tomorrow, but I don't know if it arrives when I'm there. I don't know. Anyway, it's going well. Step by step, we're patient. We started early, and we good. Enjoying the psychology explanation. The market seems like a dramatic thriller movie with a script. I know, right? It's like, what I really liked is when in May we analyzed the chart, the psychology scenario was moving towards 70K and then come back down for the zigzag. Everyone 70K, 72K, everyone buying, all-time high, but instead move down. It's interesting to think about psychology, you know? It's the market. 90% of the gaps are filled, but this gap can be filled in the bear market or later after we go up. Yeah, also true. In that case, of course, it takes months. What would be the target box for wave 3? Wave 3 can be very extended. Usually, your minimum target is the 1.618 trend-based fib extension of wave 1 and 2. So if you have a wave 1, 2, and you look for 3, you take a trend-based fib from the low of 1 to the high of 1 to the low of 2. Your minimum target would be the 1.618, as wave 3 is most commonly the extended wave. However, a wave 3, as mentioned, often extends, and extends often past the 1.618 as well. So you can have the 2, 2.618, 3, 3.618, 4, etc., right? It is very, very difficult to have a set target for a wave 3. What I personally like to do, and that is also what you see here in my template, is I have the 1, the 2, the 2.618, 3, 3.618, 4, 4.618. So I take it step by step. I observe the 1, the 1.618. Of course, for a zigzag, the 1.236 is important. But I first look at the 1 because most commonly wave 3 is not the shortest. So if it's longer than wave 1, then at least we can check that box. Wave 3 is not allowed to be the shortest. Then the 1.618, then I look at 2, then 2.618. But what I'm waiting for is a range to form the size of 2. So if price is moving up and hits the 1.618 and we do this and then move up again and this, not relevant. But if we hit the 2.618 and then we do this, okay, now we got something, right? 4. Yeah. So, yeah. But you never know when your wave 4 is coming. You just have to wait for a range to form that is this, like, similar in size or longer, preferably, than wave 2. Because most commonly your wave 4 is longer than your wave 2. So that is something that you'd be looking for. You're doing better than the Fed. Are we influencing price action just as much? 90 around the boom. Live in a box. No, it's okay, Mark. Whatever. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No problem. Wondering if you have gotten biased in your view, despite and had to scramble to make changes in your position. No. So I was long. So first of all, I always trade probabilities, right? In the past, back in the day, I was just like many when you start, influenced by emotions. But you know, that's way in the past. So of course I explained the entry I took here in the previous stream, right? Stop loss below, exited at the weekly naked point of control, and I observed the range, and now I'm in a long again. But the stop is already slightly in profit to cover fees as well. Hi bro, Bitcoin future can hold 2 or 3 days. You can hold as long as you want. Yeah, you can hold months if you wish to, as long as your liquidation doesn't get hit. Your short liquidated. Bad luck. Oh well, actually, unfortunate next graphics, but of course the thing to do, besides of course it being a pain, is what went wrong, right? Trying to learn from it. That's the way to progress as well, right? Consistently profitable. So what can you do next time to improve? I came here to concern I only used the like button to use as a separate watch later playlist, as it's impossible to remove more than one video at a time from the watch later playlist. Oh really? I didn't know. I don't really actually track a watch later playlist. I don't even know if I have one. Didn't realize how big of a disservice. It's all algorithm, right? It's all algorithm. The more, so of course, I look, I've never researched the algorithm. I just make content and hope people watch. And of course, a year ago when I started the channel with 0 subscribers, you're happy if you have 1 view. And then I don't know what happens in the background, but every little bit helps, right? So a view or a like or watch time, or I don't know exactly what YouTube focuses on, but you know, it's the small things. I'm stuck. Oh, yo, Douwe, I went live though. I went live. You shouldn't be doing chores now. My stop, T. Clapson, my stop of the first long was down here below this. And I entered here at that red candle, the order block. Right? And the stop of my latest position was down here. And now that's in profit. Slightly in profit. I mean, it's not big in profit, but it's slightly in profit. So the stop is 63,074. So I moved it up from on my Bing X chart 62,720 to 63,074 with an entry of 63,030. Okay, please look at. So this, of course, today is, or this stream is going to be Bitcoin focused. I actually don't know what CFX is, but altcoins would be Altcoin Sunday. I even shot you out on other lives and channels to help you. Yeah, cheers, Reloads. I appreciate it, man. I recently, so I don't know if Flotty is watching, but recently Flotty sent me a message on Telegram. Flotty is he's been here on the channel for a very long time. He's such an amazing guy. And he sent me a message because he recorded his screen watching another live stream on another channel. And then in the chat of the channel, it was like, oh yeah, Mark wrote a message or something that, oh, koenztrading, koenztrading. Yo, thanks for the support, guys. Even when I am not even live, I don't see that stuff. But then Flotty records it, and it's great to see. It put a smile on my face. Oksana, welcome. Welcome. Can Wave C extend to the 2.618? Yes. Can it extend higher? Yes. But the most common target for your Wave C is the 1 to the 1.236, first of all. Second target would be the 1.618, which is the extension target, right? So most common is 1.236. Common would be the 1.618. Going further than the 1.618, you're going to reach rare targets. That's not common for a Wave C, because in a zigzag, commonly your Wave C is similar in size as your Wave A. So that's why the 1 to the 1.236 is important. If you move towards like a 2.618, it is much better to count it as an impulse and expect an impulse, because the probabilities are higher for an impulse compared to a C. Is 63,697 is good resistance 1 hour order block? I mean, my next resistance would be the lines I have to the upside, of course. Let me remove this one. Pop up. 1 hour order block. I don't see a 1 hour order block. I guess you talk about this wick here. I use a different, I suppose, theory of what order block is for me. But for me, this is it's. I don't know. My next resistance is the levels above. I don't use this myself, so that's why I don't have it on the chart. But the daily, weekly naked point of control is an area of interest. And let me see support. Oh yeah, and we also have the daily support resistance area here, by the way. So if we go to the daily, you can see I have 3 white boxes on the chart, and the middle one. Right, nicely. There's a lot of price action in the middle. So that would be, or that is the blue box I have on the chart here, right? So that's the resistance area together with daily and weekly naked point of control. So that is an area I keep an eye on. Right, little bit of a. So this would be we didn't hit the order block, but this is a daily order block, right? So you have price moving down, 1 candle up, and then you get a bigger move. So as an order block, you can then select the candle, drag it to the right. Yeah. Also, again, overlap with the blue box. So that is why I have the target boxes. It keeps the chart very clean as well. So when I turn things off, it's a very, well, except for what I have locally, but it gives me a very clear perspective of the levels I have interest in, or that I keep an eye on at least. Do you ever use leverage, and what's the reason for your choice? Yes, I always use leverage, but I don't use leverage to increase my risk. I actually use leverage to decrease my risk. Interesting, eh? So my leverage is always set on 5 or 10x. It doesn't really matter because I don't increase my risk. So what I do is, with every trade, I risk 1%. It's just I feel comfortable with it. So I risk 1% of my portfolio. And the reason I have higher leverage is that if my stop loss is shorter than 1%, right, like 0.66, I need to use at least 2x leverage to enter this position with a 1% risk, right? If my stop loss is exactly 1%, I can just, for example, enter with my whole portfolio in the trade and risk only 1%. The thing is, I don't like to do it. I always like to have money on the side in case there's other positions, right? If you have a swing trade and then you also want to have a day trade, you want to have some money in your portfolio. So if you use leverage, then I can risk 1% in this position, and I can still risk 1% here, and I can still risk 1% here as well. And I can, you know what I mean? And I can still risk 1% there as well, because I use leverage. So I keep money in the bank, in the exchange, I mean, of course. So I use leverage that way. All right. Yeah. So I use leverage, but I use it to just have money on the side. Yeah. I don't use it to increase my risk. So yeah, that's the reason. R on the R. Do you have any rituals and signs in the trade? When we get to all-time high, I turn on, we hit a wall, and when we break through the all-time high, it's epic. I did it. Not really. I am very sometimes they say, you know, don't get married with an asset. And I trade Bitcoin because of the volatility, because you can make money. That's it. So yeah, if it makes all-time high or not, as a trader, it doesn't matter for me if price is at 100K or 10K. I just trade whatever we get. So yeah, I don't really have rituals with, oh, this happens on the chart, so I put this on. But it's funny that you have with the we hit a wall and the breakthrough. No, I don't really have those type of rituals, I suppose. Janice, thank you. Good to hear. Appreciate it. Teos, pleasure. 50 more. Wow, the likes are coming in, eh? 57 already. Thanks, admin. 100. Insane. My leverage for today, 30x. Make sure you trade safe, right? Everyone has their own plan. So if you have a strategy that allows you to trade with a 50x, 100x, 30x, it's perfectly fine, no? So there is no right or wrong using leverage. It's all about your plan. And if your plan says, this is what I want to see on the chart, I enter with 100x, this is my stop loss, my invalidation, this is my target, there's no one there to say that's incorrect. If you have data, collected data that shows that trading like this makes you profitable over 100 trades, I mean, you got to go for it, no? It's all about data. Oh. Do you also DCA in crypto? And if so, where would you do? I mean, look, I'm not a financial advisor. Do I DCA in crypto? Sometimes. And if so, in this range, I mean, the moment you move below the range is because the probabilities are higher on the weekly time frame to move up. So anything below 56K was interesting. And it also depends on how much you have, like how much can you invest? Do you do it daily, weekly, monthly? You know, yeah. If you have $300 a month and you would put in $10 a day, yeah, you basically you just do everything, you know. If you want to be more precise, you can set the rule and be like, oh, if price is going to move below 56, yeah, that's where I enter. If price is going to move above all-time high, I stop. If price is still going to be inside the range of 60 to 70, I still DCA. It all depends on your own comfort level and your own risk. So it also depends on, do you have a certain emotion connected to Bitcoin, right? There's of course a group that says, Bitcoin will go into the many millions, and I just hold all till that and never take it out. and other people have a target in mind for DCA as well. So yeah, I guess in this range, as long as you're in the range, you know, it remains interesting. Probabilities are higher to take all-time high at some point. So any, you know, lower half of the range, if you, I'm not sure which analyst does that. Is that ICT? I'm actually not sure. But if you have a range, right, and then you have the top of the range, and then you have the bottle of bottle. I didn't actually drink today. So you have the top of the range and you have the bottom of the range, right? The lower half of the range. So what's the terminology used again? So what they then say is this is the, I don't know the exact words, but the overpriced area, and this is like the discount area, right? It's all probabilities, but the probabilities are higher to take all-time high. So as long as you're in the discount area, if you know what I mean, things are more interesting compared to the buy area, right? I forgot the guy that talks about this all the time. So I'm not sure if that's ICT or someone else. And I say all the time, but it's been a very long time I saw someone, so I don't remember. Overpriced, underpriced, overvalued, undervalued. You know. Start of a new trend seems to overperform. For instance, from the low 15K, the wave 3 reach it to, and wave 5 reach a 40. Da, 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 1648 for, yeah, absolutely. For wave 3, absolutely. I remember when you said it was an ugly bottom. Don't you think our recent low is also an ugly bottom? Yeah, so with the 56, that was an interesting one. I'll put a alarm here. And there. So with the 56K bottom, I didn't enter a long for quite a long time because it was ugly indeed. So left, where is it? There we go. So of course when you when you see this, you're like, how is this wave 1 and wave 2 price action? No. So I was not comfortable to long in this section of the chart. I entered the long here. And the reason was that we finally, like, you know, a lot of impulsivity, but we started to stabilize and move up, some bullish CVD, some local strength, right? And then eventually we had some volume coming in, and that's when I started to be comfortable. But this is indeed a very ugly bottom. And another reason why it was ugly, and then we go back to all of the live streams that we did. So you know, I remember the laughter. So we made this low, and during this uptrend, I had multiple streams where we analyzed this section on the chart. Remember, for the people that were here, right? You'll probably know. We analyzed this piece of the chart several times, and we kept saying, like, if we zigzag, flat, WXY, or triangle, right? There's no great end to this. Zigzag 535, no, your wave 4 hit the 618, or your wave 4 is longer than 6 times wave 2, low probabilities. Double zigzag WXY, wave X hit the 0.7, low probabilities. Flat structure, ABC, doesn't work, same reasons as your zigzag. Then you have a WXY, X is incredibly short, Y is very short in time compared to your wave W, also not great. And then we had our diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 option, or we had the W and then look for an X like this and then a Y. But that's of course a continuation of the range, right? So I was never happy with the bottom as in, oh, the low is in. Because from an Elliott wave point of view, it was difficult to count this as the low. However, now that we have a bigger 3-wave structure, of course, there's the potential for a finished ABC structure. 5, 3, 5-wave structure, right? That's an option here. So now, even though the bottom move on the 1 hour time frame is also not great, you see the bullish CVDs building, of course, on the 1 hour. And for a second, when we were grinding so slow to the upside here, remember that one video? I was like, this is not like very bullish. I mean, where's the impulsivity? You know, and of course it's weekend, but 1, 2, and then and we get a range again, and a range, and a range, and a range, and a range, and of course counting this in detail. But you were continuously making higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and we didn't really break any structure. So yeah, sometimes you just take it as it comes, but the bullish CVDs we had all the time played out, and now we're here. So yeah, interesting, no? Bottoms can indeed be very ugly. Those are automatic, John. Yeah, these are automatic. So this is the 5 minute, but if I would go to a 1 hour time frame, you can see the 5 minute is not on the chart anymore, right? You can see 1 hour CVDs now on the chart. If I would go to a 4 hour time frame, you'll see the 4 hour CVDs, right? It's interesting that it actually takes the CVD here, because on the 1 hour it had the bullish CVD here, so that one played out. Of course, this one didn't. Even on a daily. Pretty cool, no? So yeah, pretty neat. I'm testing this one now. 1 hour. Let me see what. Come on, chart. I know I'm asking a lot. All the refreshes, loading. Consistently saying no more data. Let's give it. Okay, done. Okay, 1 hour. Thank you. It doesn't give. It's too long ago. It doesn't give the CVD if it's too far in it, like back. So it's automatic. I'm going to marry Bitcoin. Yeah, put a ring on it. Blimey, seems like everyone wants to be notified of when you're online. I mean, probably not everyone, but there's many, at least in Discord. You have a look at stock market charts? No. I only use the Bitcoin chart. Yeah, Bitcoin pretty much gives me everything I need. Yeah. I actually think I never analyzed a stock yet. Well, saying that, someone in the gold membership asked me a question about Tesla the other day, but I think I gave feedback instead of counting the whole thing myself. Or I did a quick count, but it's already a while ago, so I never really look at stocks. Pleasure Mace. After the 1-2-1-2, should the volume not increase much more? In a wave 3, you want the highest amount of volume. Of course, that's what you want to see, no? Preferably. It's not a rule, right? It's not a rule. It's a guideline where your wave 3 tends to have the highest amount of volume. So at the moment, of course, if you look at the red wicks here, right, they are definitely higher. Now this is the low, so of course at the low here, you also, generally when you have pivot points, volume tends to be high. The high we have here is currently the highest green candle on the volume, right? But it's also just the extension. We haven't broken this whole structure. We haven't seen any bigger range sideways, just moving up. We are reaching 1.618 extensions. I actually think we already passed it. Almost at the blue 1.618. We already passed the yellow one. Wait, did we retest it? Oh, 1 second here. 2.618. Let's put this on. Okay. Let's see if the blue one does anything. This is interesting. I do like to see that past the 1.618 retest, move to 2. Interesting. Oh, 2 is also at the lower end of this box. Also makes it interesting. Let's see what happens. What's up, Jeroen, by the way? Welcome. Chart is not... Oh, I turned it off. Yeah, that's what happens when I do stuff myself on the chart. I do turn it off. Don't want to influence everyone. Just been on the Fed stream. What BTC level do we need to hit to invalidate the bearish scenarios, especially on the daily? There's always a bearish scenario, right? You never invalidate a bearish scenario because there's always a new one. And I actually already spoke about it in previous streams, but never officially in a video. But look, moving above this high, if you are really looking for an impulse down, right, moving above this high it starts to be very unlikely. You're looking for a 5-wave structure, right? So first of all, this being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but there's the potential. So basically, what we're saying is you got to move to the 618, preferably 64.9k. Hit 64.9k, and yeah, you're not looking for an impulse down anymore. And that means the bearish scenario is going to change to a bigger WXY or BC, ABC, and second, the high of an impulse with a truncated 5, which is very low probability. So you probably won't, probably won't really talk too much about this one, but that you have a wave 5 ending here, and then look for ABC, or of course sideways, WXY, flat, all that stuff. You know, that's going to be your bullish, your bearish scenario if you do move to 63.9. So yeah, it's all preparation. So okay, price moves up, I need a new bearish scenario, but then it's again about bullish versus bearish scenarios, right? So if you impulse to the upside here, 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, right, then this move to the upside has a higher probability of being a wave A or a wave 1 compared to a wave C. Now, of course, we don't yet have force 5s, so we need to be patient and see if we get that printed on the chart or not. And the reason probabilities are higher for an A or 1 is because for a wave C, we need a flat. So that means this low has to be a wave B. Now, this can only really be a wave B if we count it A, B, and then C. But a running flat is very rare, and a running flat would mean wave C not taking these highs. But that's very rare. In other words, if you impulse here, probabilities are higher this is an A or 1. Meaning we look for retracement and continuation for at least one more push in an A, B, C, if not continuation in a bigger impulse to the upside. At the moment, we just observe local price action. There's the potential, of course. That's your bullish scenario, right? So it definitely doesn't move up very quick here. It's definitely struggling a little bit. It's like up, up, up. It's so minimal. It's not like, wow, you know, it's not similar to the breakout that we had here when, you know, daily naked point of control, one big candle, poof, you know, we move up and we retest and we try it again and we wick the previous high and another red candle. It's quite slow at the moment. Will you in AGGR? I'm currently, of course, I have the free template of CVD without the lines in Discord. And with the current one with the lines, I have an idea. It will be free, yes, absolutely. You know, no one has to pay for that stuff. But I do have an idea of how to publish it. I will do it from other accounts. So you don't need to be a member or something. Wait, I will do it from other accounts. Are you expecting deep fourth wave to 53.49? For now, as long as probabilities locally here, as long as price is moving up on volume locally, the probabilities are higher to move up. And 63.9K would reduce probabilities for 53.49. You can definitely still expect a retracement. I mean, preferably we actually do see a retracement. So if you do print a wave 1 or A, then preferably below 72K, retrace for 2 or B, and then up for A or C. Yeah. So at the moment, because we just move up on volume, it's difficult to give the highest probabilities to, oh, we're so bearish. You really need to see a market structure change or signs of weakness. But so far, everything price is doing, it's just moving up with bullish CVDs. And for now, it just keeps going. You know, the volume here in a local trend, moving up, volume increasing. So for probabilities to turn bearish, you really need to start turning around. If we want to count a three-wave structure, which of course we have here, A, B, C, we are in the wave C target area, right? So in this case, we have a wave A diagonal, then we have our wave B, and then we have our wave C, right? So we are in the most common target area for a wave C. Important. As mentioned, we don't want to move up to, was it 64.9K, I believe? 1 second, let me check here. Yeah, 64.9 for this C, right? So we don't want to move here for C, because that would invalidate a higher time frame wave 4. You can still have the ABC, but it's going to be something else. But I don't know if I'm going to be too theoretical now, because if you have an ABC that is reaching 64.9, it can't be a wave 4 anymore. So so an impulse would then finish at the low, but as mentioned just now, you still have bearish scenarios, right? Where you look for a W and then X and then Y, but this would be very short for an X if your W is literally months of price action and that's X. Alternatively, end of a 5 and you look for A, B, and then a wave C, so a bigger retracement. But that depends on the move up. Again, you know what you want to see. If you are bullish, right? I want to turn this off. If you are bullish, you want to see 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Right? And these ranges should be similar in size compared to the 2s. Right? So you're looking for bigger sideways structures. For the bears, you want to, of course, have A, B, C, and then move down and hit the 0.618 to wherever the high is going to be printed, and then you do this, right? You want to hit that 0.618 because this is an invalidation for a wave 4. That's pretty much what we're going to be keeping an eye on if price continues up. So, yeah. The 69th like. I have an idea of sharing it. No worries, it's going to be completely free. Would be nice if people do support the channel though. Reloads, is it because of the news? Was that a deal breaker? Yeah, I don't know. It's not like very impulsive now, right? So yeah, we have a bit of a move up here, but yeah, it's not anything. Yeah, these bullish CVDs here played out, and bearish CVDs locally played out as well. That's what the check means, but that's absolutely minimal. So I mean, look at so far, but yeah, let's see. I start to wonder, where are we for a flat? So if price hits the 63.9k level, the 1.618, a flat will significantly reduce in probabilities. This is your most common target area for a flat. So you want price to move up still a little bit further. And if it does, it increases the probabilities for impulsive structures. Now, of course, based on the move up so far, it doesn't mean you can go into a 5 and then another 4 and another 5 and 4, 5, 4, 5 and then just grind towards the upside. But it just increases probabilities that this is not flat like ABC. So you want price to move up just that little bit more. And actually, you don't really want to see price move back inside this range, right? I mean, we moved out of the range, we retested the highs, we moved towards the upside, broke the structure again. Moving back inside the range here would not really be considered bullish. So that's your local bearish scenario. Would be a flat structure. No? Now of course we took the high again, so now you got to start all over with CVD. But and if we do move, let's see, if we do move into flat here, then your target is. So far you can see this move up. It's very three wavy. No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially. Not sure about this wick. You always have WXY potential, but so far clearly it's, we don't have like a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 second here. Oops. Oh, that's the wrong one. I need this one. Of course, it all starts with seeing local weakness. So preferably what I like to see on the chart is if you do move for, well, where is that? Oh, all the way down here. If you do move down for flats, then grind down, right? Back inside the range, preferably some consistent bearish CVD divergences, and a wave C of a flat is usually the quickest structure, right? It's the fastest move out of your AB. It should be quicker than A plus B preferably, and minimal twice the length of A plus B. But yeah, it's very slow. Your common target area, by the way, is between the two 1.618s. Minimum target for a flat is taking out the low, 62.3. No. Quite interesting. It's not yet very convincing, so to say, so to speak. Yeah. Bullish CVDs played out, move to the upside, all good, but it's not well, it's slow. No, we didn't really go into analysis. We've mainly been observing local price action here instead of analyzing the same as we did this afternoon. I just answer questions, which pretty much leads to analysis anyway, of course, because of the questions. Yeah. Yeah, a third top, absolutely a possibility. With the sheer quantity of BTC Bloodbath videos, and I could tell these people didn't know what they were talking about, just simply following the herd. Yeah, you definitely don't want to follow the herd. The 112 is out. Which scenario? So on the weekly time frame, it's the bull, and also on a daily time frame, every structure is corrective, highest probability structure. So the zigzag or WXY. So the bull follows the weekly, or the daily follows the weekly. And locally at the moment, probabilities are also still higher to move up. Now, of course, if you have a flat A, B, C, you still look for price to move up afterwards. A flat is a common structure in a wave 4. if wave 2 is a zigzag structure especially. So it is always something we got to keep in mind. After price has been pushing up to the upside, you can create a fake top. Now at the moment, this looks more like a 3-wave move up. So for the bulls, you want to continue, preferably not fall back inside the range though, or start closing candles in the middle. That wouldn't be too great. But you got to be aware of a flat, and then that is going to be area of interest, area of support, signs of strength here, and then you want to see continuation to reach the support to the upside. But that's your bearish scenario on the 15-minute. Your bullish is continuation. But before we start thinking bearish, you really you want to at least move back inside the range and then call this a deviation. I have no idea why my alarm went off now. Why did I have an alarm there? No idea. When will we understand if we are in a big 3 wave or already in a big 5? You got to take all-time high, and then on a weekly time frame, you just observe. So it will take months before we know, probably. Well, not if it's a wave 3, because if it's really a wave 3, you do expect very big moves on a weekly time frame. So you want to reach the wave 5 target area very quickly. So big wave 3 or wave 5, it probably takes weeks. So it's just about the next weekly range to form. Maybe we'll go to the top of the gap, 63.9. Yeah. I don't know. So far, the price action is not like, oh wow, this is so convincing. But we'll observe. We're still here, keeping an eye on the chart. I suppose. Run there, Paul. Do we to see continuation with the trend? No, the moment a divergence plays out, you forget about it, right? But if you do move up, like from the low that we made, you do move up every time with bullish CVDs, right? And that says something. Like every time you range, there's more bullish CVD, more. So there's consistent absorption of market shorts with limit longs, and that is important to note. Now, the moment the CVD divergence plays out, I just remove it from the chart because it's not relevant anymore. Yo, welcome, Hunter. Yeah, you missed a lot of answering questions though. I'm thinking about what's happening here locally. It's really not really anything clear printed here on the chart, so to speak. Ooh. So you really want price to move into the 1.618 to the upside. You want price to hit this. If you can hit 63.9, the probabilities increase to continue up. For now, we are ranging at the target area for a wave B and a flat. But if it's very impulsive, either we look for a double 1-2 or but you want to see continuation. The 1.618, you wanna hit that. For now, we're not yet out of the danger zone here. I haven't yet. Gotta say, I haven't yet. It was 15 minutes or something, right? Yeah, I just have to watch it. At what point of price action would you say this up move was corrective? If you hit the 0.618, that you then pull from the low of B to the high of wherever C is going to be. because as in an impulse with the low that we've made, you want to see 1 2 1 2, that's what we got. Then you want to see 3 and then 4 5 4 5. If wave 4 hits the 0.618, your impulse is invalidated, and that is when you start thinking about a ABC. And of course, if you want to be earlier, you want to see local market structure change, retracement, bearish CVDs, you know. But for now, with the local move up, you would take a fib from the low here to, let me pull this high at the moment. Toggle on the 618, 59.1. Right, that's really your level. Or actually, it's then the high here, so that would be 59.5. That would be your invalidation of an impulse. That's where the probabilities really change from an Elliott wave point of view. How long did it take you to learn Elliott waves? Yeah, I can imagine. It's of course a lot of information that I share in the theory videos as well. So it will, you know, it takes a while. Now, in my case, I felt I was really good with Elliott waves after about 2 years. Like 1.5 to 2 years. That's where I started to really excel. And I really got the hang of it. And what really helps in the beginning is to make fib templates. So all of these, right? So watch the videos and just put all of these templates in TradingView. That will significantly help you in your counting, because you don't have to remember all the time like, oh, what's the target again? No, you just look at like, okay, I'm looking for a zigzag, low of A, high of A, low of B. Okay, wave C, zigzag. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is the target area, you know? So, and that's something I didn't do. So that's my biggest tip. Yeah. So about, for me, 1.5 to 2 years. Howdy from Texas, Attila. How you doing? Is it possible that we have not bottomed yet? Always a possibility. There's always that chance. Probabilities are never 100% for up or down. If someone says, oh, we go to the moon, don't trust it. Right? They probably said it at 73K and then again at 72K and then again and again. And of course, weekly higher probabilities to move up, but there's always a scenario for up or down. You can never be biased to only one direction. And I think the comment from, who was it that sent me that comment? 1 second. Someone commented under a video and it said, I love the fact this is not a up or down channel or something. So it was related to, oh yeah, so it was a GTP sleeper. He said, so he's a member as well. He said, I love this is not an up or down channel, meaning or, right? It's not or, it's and. You can go up, well, you can go up or down, but it's what he means is it's not just up or just down, right? You always have both scenarios, just like we do in this range now here, right? Bullish scenarios, of course, hit that 1.618. Your bearish scenario is a flat. Move back into the range. Or you're going to be thinking about a running triangle, for example. So you have a 3-wave A, 3-wave B, 3-wave C, D, E, continuation of the range, preferably bullish and bullish CVD, and then you move towards the upside. Bearish scenario is a flat. A, B, C, continue. Take the low of A, move into the gap, right? Find support, maybe on the lower degree range here, and then continue towards the upside. Bullish scenario is impulsive. You don't want to change market structure, and preferably you don't really want to fall back inside the range again, because then there's of course the risk of a deviation. Where's my channel? Oh, here it is. So where do I'll pull it. Yeah, here. Wow, the weekly naked point of control is literally the middle of the channel as well. So you know, if you get back inside the channel, retest, and yeah, you don't want to, and then probability is high to move to the weekly, and then the lower end of the channel, and then you create a deviation here with the flat, get back, retest, and then you move back, you know, and then it just becomes trade the range until it breaks type of like style. So that is when you really start to create a range, and then this becomes a deviation of the range. So at the moment, we're still above it, right? We're still above the range. So this is just range trading, right? With a little bit of Elliott, mix of Elliott waves and simple range trading. Oh, we had a bit of bearish CVD on the 3 minute. So with the red candle, with the high and the red candle here as well, moving down. So this one already played out, right? That's what the check says as well. So we had a little bearish CVD here, played out. Then we took the high once again, created a new bearish CVD on the chart. Still above the range for now. I need to be quicker because I'm falling behind. I explained too much. Why a wave Y, for instance, would just slice through the chart in a fraction of time it takes to reach its current location. How can price move so rapid? Why a wave Y? Well, if wave W is a flat, wave Y can be a zigzag, right? And a zigzag tends to be a sharp structure, very quick, zigzag ABC. So that's how a wave Y can be a quick move. But if wave Y is a flat or a triangle, you would expect it to take a longer period of time. So it's just a structure. I don't look at whales and those type of things really. SFP all day. What's up, Eric Doriel and La Flamme? How are you doing? Yes, it's all about up or downside. How to become a better trader. Do you have any books? Yes. And all the books I recommend, I get this question a lot, so that's why I did it. All the books I recommend are in the description. And I have subdivided the categories in trading/money books, I believe. One Elliott Wave book, entrepreneurial books, and mindset books or something. I don't know. I think I have like 3 categories, and then the Elliott Wave book is below the Elliott Wave education section. How to become a better trader? Oh yeah, so that answers that question. Do you have any books? So that's that one. If an hour ago there's bullish CVD and it played out, then the moment it played out, it's of course neutralized. So you always gotta be aware. So for example, we had bullish CVDs here, right? And here as well, and here as well. But it doesn't mean you're gonna impulse to the upside. The moment the bullish CVD plays out, it is neutralized. However, if you then look at this move to the upside so far, right? Then so far, can I actually get everything? Yeah. We had bullish CVD here, right? And bullish CVD here, as well as over here. And then again here, right? So, and then So having this narrative of absorption consistently with price moving up, it increases the probabilities of continuation, absolutely. But CVD plays out the moment you take the high. So this bullish CVD here, the moment you take this high here, right, it played out. And we forget about that CVD and we look for the others. So if we are bullish, we do want to see continuation of bullish CVD. Because I think a great example was here. We had bullish CVDs, right? And also over here, bullish CVDs. These played out. Price moved up, took the high. Cool. However, as price moved up, we did not get continuation of bullish CVDs. Instead, we started to develop bearish, increasing the probabilities to move down and take the low, right? So the moment you get a higher time frame, 1 hour, 4 hour bullish CVD, then of course on the lower time frames you want to consistently see that coming, right? So you want to see continuation. But the moment it plays out, it plays out. Yeah, I remove it from the chart. Yo, Wizard Nukas, how you doing? What's up, bro? John, how you doing? Can't sleep first day back at work. Gonna be rough. Gonna be rough indeed. Wait, first day back at work? Oh wait, you can't sleep. I see. welcome welcome to the live stream just before your day at work. It's going to be rough if you don't have a good night of sleep. That's true. So you do have the opportunity to be online and like trade when you're like around your work hours. Do you still work like far away or not? Yes, I also have the Koens Books channel in Discord where I list books. Yeah, correct, John. I agree. You would really need to wait for 4/5s in that case, but of course, once you start to create a bigger range, and the potential for a wave 4 is also the potential for a finished ABC. Pleasure, Rex and Dahlia. Yeah, well, this is my favorite book. The one Mark shares, that's the favorite. Yeah, please be mindful. They are affiliate links. So of course, if you buy a book, it's an affiliate link. So I get a commission. I think it's like $1. I think on books it's 4.5% of the price, and so far 0. So I think it's like $1. So please be aware. I have to say it. Also, by the way, by Dutch law, it has to be announced. But I also write it in the description at the bottom. Extra count for bearish ones from earlier is we are at a B or Y for another low. What will happen if we don't get 45? A B of Y. A B of Y. A B. Oh, wait. I know what you mean. Ah, yes. Wait. I know what you mean. 1 second. That is very interesting. No. Where is it? Here we go. 1 second. So this one, we can remove this. Ah, but John, man, your wave Y is going to be so deep. Right? Like, if this is your A and then B and then C, your 1.618 is a rare target for Y. Yeah? It's not a common target for Y. Yeah. So you would go very deep. So in that case, if you take a fib from the high to the low, oops, you would need price to move up to at least 67.4K to have the 1-to-1 of a wave C in a bigger zigzag Y on top of the 1.618. So in other words, you would like to at least see price move up to 67.2K in a B. For then A, B, and then a wave C, really. So in that case, you would still like to see upside. In the scenario, I guess this is the scenario you thought about, no? Testing. Oh wait, I answered this question, yes? Or not? I don't know. When we take Ultima, how do we know is yellow wave 3 or 5? You don't. That's the thing, right? We first, so you move up, you wait for a range to form. You will always get a retracement back down, right? A first structure, and then you get a retracement back up. And that retracement back up will have an impact on probabilities of continuation or another move to the downside. The probabilities now are higher for the yellow wave 3 in that case to finish. I'm talking to Seriga, we kind of like know what we're talking about. But currently probability, let me get it on the chart. I of course, I need to be mindful. Weekly. Probabilities are higher for this scenario compared to this scenario, right? Wave 4 is most commonly longer than wave 2. This wave 4 is shorter than wave 2, right? Common target for 4 is also 382. I mean, that's a side note. But this one so far is shorter than your wave 2. Preferably it's longer than your wave 2. wave 2 is very shallow. Wave 4 is also very shallow. Right? Preferably a wave 4 is deep. Here we have our 1, 2, 3, sideways 4, 5, 4 longer than 3. Hit the 0.5. If you do move up, then this scenario would have a higher probability. And this one is going to battle against the double 1, 2. And that depends on the impulsivity and when are you going to start a new range. So it's all probabilities, but it's preparation, you know, that's where it starts. So we are prepared. Oh. So you got to wait for a range to form. Okay then. A test of the channel. Yeah, we looked at the volume earlier. On the 4-hour chart, the peak volume of this move up is higher. The green candle peak volume is higher than in the range that we came from, except for the low that was made, because the low had higher volume. It's not surprising. But it's still moving up as price moves up with the bigger pushes at least. So yeah, it's nothing like hardcore volume or something. It's not like incredibly high volume. What's up, lols Landstorm? All I can say is no financial advice, my friend. Make sure you trade safe, manage your trades well as well, right? When do you think you're going to set your index chart? Yeah. Don't really have a planned date for it, gotta say. I will do it. It will also be helpful for people, like educational. Do you use the mouse? Magnet. Sliding it over. If you use shift, if you press shift, you can just... Oh, first you click on the fib and then press shift, you can move it sideways. Right? Even if I go up, the moment I get close to where it came from, it snaps back into position. Right? So that is shift. And then with control, right? If I press control now, poof, it immediately connects to the high here. Right? So those are the two you see me use all the time. Shift and control. How do you consider a CVD diversion played out? When you take the high or the low? First, I recommend to go to the channel and watch this video because I explain everything there in a lot of detail. CVD, this one here, right? I also in Discord, in the Good to Know channel, have a one-pager here, plus the website, plus the template, and without the lines. But also here, the moment, so let me explain it shortly. The moment you, if there's bullish CVDs here, high low in price, low low CVD, the moment you take this high, it played out. That's how we say it. For the bears, lower high, bearish CVD, take the low, it has played out. That's when one removes it from the chart. Any other strat than Elliott waves? Only my self-developed strat, which is based on data. So Elliott waves is, of course, a well-known strategy for decades. So I learned this one. But while I was studying trading-related tools and everything, I also developed another strategy myself based on data. But not any other known strat, because that's my personal one. It's self-developed. It's not taken from anywhere. Yeah, I've never tried another strategy. If you know, like at least not to the same extent than Elliott waves. When ICT became very popular, I watched a couple of videos. Holy moly, it was so tough to get through his 1-hour videos with like 5 minutes of content. Not gonna lie, but I I had a Word document and I made some notes and stuff, but I never really implemented or used it. I already used gaps anyway, so I didn't learn anything new. It's not a fair value gap the way I use it. I use gaps. Like, for example, on the 1 hour, I showed this in the live stream, the previous stream. We had the 1 hour gap here, so quick channel off. Right, so you have the 1 hour gap. Maybe he calls it fair value, but I was already using gaps, so that was nothing new to me. But then, of course, he has a whole strategy around, like, I don't know, all sorts of stuff. But no, so I had a look at it. There's another demand. What's that? The thing and demand, where price moves down, you get a range, you get a quick push down, you move back up, and then price tends to retrace to this area here, and that is then your buy. I don't know what this is called. So this is something that I watched it, but my Elliott waves was so advanced already. I never got into other stuff. I just gained the knowledge, and yeah, I think so. That was one. I'm not sure if this was another one. If you move up and you create a range, right? Up and then ta 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 ta, and then up again to up, and then price support, that entry to stop loss. Yeah, but I don't know where I've seen it, or that's too long ago. I can't remember that stuff anymore. More bearish CVDs on blue, lower high in price, higher high CVD played out, just took the low here. We are falling back inside the range, at least for now. Candle is not closed. The midline of the channel, let's put this on. And let's see where the point of control, yeah, okay. The weekly naked point of control is pretty much the midline. So what I'm gonna do is, am I gonna remove the, no, I'll keep the weekly naked point of control on the chart for now, as long as we're ranging here. Yeah. Can I hold long? Depends on your plan or strategy. All right, depends on your plan or strategy. And that's 6 steps. So you want to have 6 steps, right? Step 1 is try as many free tools as you can. Meaning on like TradingView, right, and indicators. Step 2 is find your favorite tools and build statistics. Step 3 is combine some of your tools, right? So now you build a strategy, build some more statistics. Step 4 is tweak and adjust. So add a tool, remove a tool, and build some more statistics. And then step 5 is start trading your strategy, which is based on statistics. Start trading it and with a low amount of money, and work on your trading psychology. I recommend the book of Jared Tendler, The Mental Game of Trading. It's in the description. And then step 6 is increase your portfolio size. Right, so that's where I recommend to start to know where you want to long or short. What about the ebook? What do you mean, Adam? Can W... Yeah, we can... Wait. Oh, I gotta... Yeah, we can be in W of B or Y. Well, you gotta send me a picture in the group. Yeah, I mean, it's in the end a bearish count. Cheers, Zabruder. Thank you. It's actually, this whole live stream, everyone, is thanks to you guys, right? Because of your questions, we chat, right? So the analysis was earlier today, and while we are chatting, we're doing a bit of live analysis here, right? So yeah, thanks guys. I really enjoy live streams like this as well, just engaging, chatting. I do have to go because dinner's going to be on the table, and then it's chilling, and finally an early night as well. Pleasure, Saraga. For spot with Paul Warner. Well, we'll figure it out. But the trick is, of course, that once you get a move down first of all, the move down has to be counted as an impulse. And then you look for a retracement up, which has to be corrective. And from a spot point of view, that would be a sell option because the probabilities are higher to move back down. Of course, the moment you take all-time high or you get different scenarios, you can buy back later. So it's not different compared to what we had on the chart here so far, right? So from a spot perspective, you eventually get a range. This is all no problem, like holding, spot, whatever. And then we get a move to the upside. Now the move to the upside, that's where it's at. Is this corrective or impulsive? What are the probabilities of this move down? Is this move down a higher probability impulse, corrective structure? Is it finished at the low or not? Now, we all covered that stuff when price was moving up. So then the moment price moves up, knowing that either this is preferably a wave B in a W, X, and a Y, continuation of the range, or, and then wave Y, zigzag or triangle, but zigzag is most common, so preferably a deeper structure, or a zigzag A, B, C, right? Those were the two higher probability scenarios. That means that from a spot perspective, it starts to be interesting to sell. Now, the moment you take the high here, a zigzag is invalidated. So there's potential for buyback, no? And in a WXY, I mean, preferably X doesn't take the high. It is possible though. But if you do take the high and then buy back, of course, you continue to observe what happens. So you're trying to find a swing trading spot in a way. But that is how one would then manage that on, but this on then also again on a daily or even weekly time frame. Yeah. Do diamonds get all of your setups? It's just like the setups channel, which is for free. I bet. She's taking pictures of my stuff. Wait, let me, before I continue. Okay, 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Okay, sorry guys, that was my wife, right? When the wifey walks in, you gotta listen to the wife. Happy wife, happy life. I'm not sure if you can see this because we packed it, but this is me, and it says Koens here. You can't see it because of the tape, I guess. You can see it a little bit, right? Koens, and then here it says TEDx because I'm a TEDx speaker. I spoke at TEDx, so that's why. And then you can see me playing track. I used to be a professional gamer, esports player for 11 years, Trackmania, third at the World Championships and all sorts of stuff. So that's me playing there, and then the controller. This one is already a few years old now, but it will come with me to France, yeah? Yeah, it's a nice one. I like it. Okay, well, we closed the candle back inside the channel now, so this is, of course, starting to get interesting now. Yeah, so CVD predictable? Nah, it's better on the lower time frame. Do diamonds get all of the setups? I share. It's the same as the setups channel, so, and that's for free. Link in the first link in the description, right? And then you get in the Koens Trades channel, and then just follow the steps there, you know, because the only thing I do ask, there's so much free stuff, and this is also free, but to support the channel, please just register at one of the platforms, and then I'll just put you in the group, and that's completely open, completely free, and I talk about the setups that are interesting to me, right? From an Elliott wave point of view. Go down a little bit. So there we go. Move this. Wait. So I explained why. So this one was a setup shared earlier, and then here I had the idea, right? So the idea was shared with what I wanted to see, Okay, and this is the one I took myself even as well, right? So we had bullish CVDs going up here, so I took it. No, it's literally what I was looking for. And then we just wait and see. And everyone should have their own entry requirements or not. When I share a setup there, it's not a signal, right? I don't do signals. Signals are, in my opinion, really stupid. But what I do, and what you maybe have read, is I explain why, right? Why is a long interesting and why is a short interesting and what do I want to see? That is what's educational and that is what you should focus on. So I have the idea, I have the plan, I explain why from an Elliott wave point of view it's interesting, because many people, they do study Elliott waves, but they don't really know how to trade Elliott waves. And the goal of the channel there is to help people to educate them and help them on how do I trade Elliott waves? Why is that setup interesting from an Elliott wave point of view, right? And then, of course, I also look for other stuff to enter positions. It's not just Elliott waves. I have some other confluences and things that I want to see, just like everyone should have their own things. Because sometimes there's an interesting setup from an Elliott wave point of view, but as price reaches the level, it's not interesting anymore, right? It's too high volume or whatever. And I don't enter, right? Because I don't see what I want to see. And people should make their own choices. But it's all shared free in the link in the first link in the description, and then just follow the steps and voila. And in Diamond is all about creating a plan, helping people to develop a plan, right? A personal trading strategy, and that goes much further. So that is where it's all about collecting data, right? The 6 steps, but the 6 steps in more detail, plus all the tools as well and the documents to track statistics, to develop the data, to develop the plan and the strategy. I share my examples and I share my one-pager with my entry rules of the data-driven strategy that I have. And it's all showing people like, hey, this is what you can do and this is how you do it to develop the plan or the strat. That's the focus, right? Long-term profitability. That's the focus of Diamond. Yeah, it will be free. Will be free. Which CVD indicator do you use? AGGR. It's all in Discord. So here, and then you move to good to know. But this is the template without the lines. The template with the lines, it will be shared for free. But I think on Wednesday, yeah, somewhere after Wednesday, I think. I was wondering if you got any proceeds, if we got the audiobook ebooks. Oh, I don't know. But if a book is free, then of course you don't get anything. I'm actually not sure if a audiobook gives anything. So I only know a book is 4.5%. I don't know about audiobooks. The only thing I know is that currently it's 0. So we have the data so first of all the previous links were wrong. Right, let me take a screenshot here so you can actually see it. Ta-da! So all my links before a few days ago were wrong. I already was like, something's off, something's not working. So I made new links, and you can see that you see the clicks but yeah, I've never. First of all the links were wrong anyway. So I don't even know if these links work because nothing's been bought yet, and it goes against the law if myself or my wife orders something of Amazon. They can kick you out. So I don't want it. But yeah, I don't know. I only know that a book is 4.5%, I believe. That's that. Pleasure, Adam. What do you think is the probability that wave C has ended, or is there more chance that it's wave 3? At the moment, the probability is higher for 3 because of the extension to the 1.618 now. That is generally wave 3 target, no? So, and the beginning of 4 is always difficult to estimate. You first want wave 3 to finish and really move in a much longer sideways range. And so far, there's no very long sideways ranges. So, of course, I have a channel on my chart, close the candle inside. Now you, of course, want to stay inside, so retest continuation. and now we're moving above again. Let's see. The little bearish CVDs played out. So, because of the extension after the ranges at the low, probabilities naturally are higher now for 3 compared to C. Probabilities for C only really increase if you start to create a much bigger sideways range and more bearish CVDs. What's up, Andy? How you doing? Current move down didn't touch the 886. No, there's currently no 886 to pull on the chart here. The only 886 that one would then pull would be, oh, I actually want to keep these. Would be this one. Right, so that would be one to keep an eye on. And not from this low, because you can have a potential flat ABC, finish on the 886, running flat and continue. So you can only use the 886 from this one now. And on the 5 minute, there's nothing here. Why not 100K yet? I don't know. I need to be a bit more moon boyish, but I'm not that person. Thank you, Adam. Thanks. Who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks? It's if you're open to being taught. Now that's a question, right? But yeah, man. I mean, thanks for being part of the group and loving the educational stuff in there. I wait. I want to make a screenshot. That's a nice one. That's very kind. Thank you, Adam. What do you think? Oh yeah, so I answered this one. Mental game of trading. Yeah, Kun was like, does not read anymore. I love books. I'm a guy that I need to order physical books. I'm not really someone that listens to books. I never got into it yet, but I recently got new headphones. I always had in-ears, but I gotta say I love the headphones, and I use them a lot. So I might try audio books, but generally I like to focus. So when I listen to an audio book, I want to focus on the book. But then if I do something else while listening, I don't really absorb it, if you know what I mean. So yeah. I'm new here. I have a question. What do you think is the 3 ending? Good question. But when we are looking for a wave 3, the best thing to do is to wait for a bigger range to form the size of a wave 2. So in that case, if you have 1, 2, 1, 2, we wait for a range similar in size, right? That is when we know, okay, wave 3 is in. Because as long as you push up and volume is coming in and you don't get a bigger range, you would expect continuation, right? And of course, you're going to have ranges and stuff, but you want a range the size of 2. Now, of course, target-wise, generally a minimum target for wave 3 is the 1.618. And this is very messy. And you can pull, because we have a double 1, 2, we can use 2 1.618s. So the first one has been hit already. But a wave 3 can, most of the time, extend, right? So 1, 2, the minimum target would be the 1.618. But it is very common for a wave 3 to continue up to 2.618, 3, 3.6, etc., right? So it's difficult to estimate the target of a wave 3. What you want to focus on is a range that has the same size as 2. And that is when we're going to start counting a 4. So that is pretty much what how to know when a wave 3 is in. When Lumbo, when Lumbo, do you need that price to go to 100k? Maybe Milo. Going to the shop. You bought it yesterday with the affiliate link. Oh, yesterday. Oh, I only have clicks, no ordered item. Oh man, I'm not sure if the. So first of all, not every country. Where do you live, Dasek? Country, not your address. Ah, shoot. Where can I find that again? I forgot. There's somewhere I have a list. Oh, wait. So Germany. Oh, Germany is in the list. So United States, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Poland, Spain, Sweden, UK. Those are the ones that should work. Well, I don't know. I gotta probably I gotta email again. But what I will do, so first of all, thank you. Even though I don't have anything to show for it, that's absolutely no problem, because in the end it's just peanuts. I'm just trying to make it work. So what I do is I'll screenshot your message and I'm gonna send it to Amazon and be like, do you guys know what I have to do? Because I followed every step and somehow I can't make it work. You know, when Volvo, when Kia. Stefan, I know Stefan personally. So yeah, I know Cussing, Stefan. And so when I was a esports player, he was at a certain moment in time, he was my manager, the team coach, the coach of the team. So I spoke to him a lot. We follow each other on Instagram, and eventually I got into trading, and we've sent some messages on Instagram back in the day. And he's done very well for himself. Of course, now he has a strategy related to Elliott waves, but it's different. I mean, in the end, it's very different now. But I didn't try it. No, I didn't try it. I have my own, I found my own way of trading. I have my own way of trading, so I never really diverted from that. And I really enjoy Elliott waves. Maybe one day I'll have a look into how I can maybe find a system based on Elliott waves like Stefan has done. But yeah, at the moment I'm happy the way it goes. And then he, of course, built a strategy, got some investors from the US, I believe, and that's how things grow. The gold chart. Yeah, you can use it on any chart. Yeah, but the link is brand new. So the links are made literally 3 days ago. So I don't know. But yeah, no problem. Okay, guys, it's time for me to go because we have someone picking up our small little tables in the living room. Nice, because we are moving. We want to get rid of our stuff. So someone replied to like my wife put the tables online and replied, and so that guy's coming in very soon. Plus we're gonna have dinner and chill, and then bedtime. Go to bed early tonight and then fresh out next morning. So yeah, see what the chart is going to give us, but generally the probabilities, even if you do move into a flat, are higher to still look for price to move towards the upside locally. So keep in mind the flat, please. That's your bearish scenario. We closed in the channel, but you know, you of course, same with support resistance, close in, retest, change the structure. So now we only closed in, but nothing really happened. If we hit the 886, probabilities increase to take the high, as any move down will have a higher probability of being corrective in C or Y, increasing probabilities to take the high. No. Keep an eye on CVD as well. At the moment, nothing is happening. The bearish CVD is already played out. Not yet bullish CVDs at the moment. And if you hit the 1.618 at 63.9k, probabilities increase for continuation once more to move towards the blue box. Never, nothing goes in a straight line, right? Keep that in mind. It's not like, oh, probabilities are higher for bull, boom, It's all probabilities, and sometimes it takes time. This grind has been slow as well. So slow grind. So keep that in mind. But that's that. So very nice. T. Clepson, my first ever trade, I stayed awake till 4 a.m. because all my money was in it, all my savings. I had high leverage. I didn't know what I was doing at all. And I was so fucking nervous. I then went to bed because I was like, fuck it, I either lose everything or not. And then the next morning I woke up with profit, took the profit. And then in the 2 or 3 weeks after, I lost all the profit. And that's when I started to actually learn something. Strength or weakness depends on the tools you like to use. You can use support resistance, demand, CVD, RSI, MACD, money flow indicator. Depends on what you like. So relax, bro. Quit chatting in the chat and let me have fun with the chat. So if you want to see the analysis, go to the previous video. Right? So another bro. What's up with these bros nowadays, yo? Wizard. Wizard is the only bro here. There can't be another bro. Wizard Nuke is the only bro, right? He's the bro guy. Anyway, relax, bro. Just check the previous update, the previous video on the channel, and you will be good. Okay, thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for chatting. Very, very enjoyable. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you again tomorrow. Cheers.